Zi-o.
Hey guys, this is Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger, and you are watching That Hashtag Show. Hey guys, this is
Zi-o.
Hey! We got the whole team.
Woo! Team J back again. Yeah.
So what's up?
What's up, everyone?
Yo. We got a little take that one.
We got this.
Right, we got a little.
We got a little bit of this.
Yeah, we got a little something special.
Okay.
You ready?
Ready. Henshin. What? Oh, that's. Oh my gosh! They Henshin. They transformed. Oh my gosh!
So how long?
I feel like I need a Santa hat.
Huh? You do need a Santa hat.
Huh.
Well, I don't know if
All right, the whole show will now be hosted
Yes.
by Rudolph
Who am I?
and Bumble.
Who?
The
The Abominable Snowman.
Bumble Snowman.
Okay, I'm a snowman.
Yes.
Cool.
All right.
Well, you guys, welcome to Henshin Hangout. Like, people just joining are probably like,
Hello.
what the hell is going on? Welcome to Henshin Hangout. You guys, thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us.
Yes.
And we appreciate that.
Hey, how you guys? Okay, it's getting hot.
Ooh,
Oh
okay.
my man! So as Jezzer said,
Helmet off.
Yeah. So welcome to a little show we call Henshin Hangout. Henshin Hangout. And I'm
Nice.
excited to talk about some Henshin this week because
actually.
both episodes were good.
Whoa, yeah.
Well, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
I want to hear what you guys think.
Yeah. So let's see who we got. We got Ryan Earl Thomas, Bat2C Blur. We have Blackwing, Edward Sanchez, Ukiya Senpai, Layla,
Hill Life.
and DDT.
DDT
Thank you guys
cosplay.
for joining us, for always coming. They're always here.
Yes,
Thank you guys.
they are.
We
Thanks
love
for the
you.
loyalty.
You guys are diehard fans. Speaking of that, how are you guys doing this week? Dude, actually, Justin had a great.
It was a
He
pretty.
really did.
It was a
Yeah.
very
He really did.
surprising week.
Yes.
So yeah, if you guys haven't seen, I got to do the press junket for the upcoming movie Vice that's coming out this week. Or next week actually. And so yeah, I got a chance to interview Christian Bale.
You
Amy
interviewed
Adams.
Batman and Lois Lane.
I
Yeah,
did.
he
Yeah.
interviewed Batman and some other actress. Keep going.
And then director Adam McKay, who also
Adam McKay.
who also
Step Brothers.
Step Brothers,
Yes.
Anchorman, even did some of the writing for the first Ant-Man movie. So
Oh,
like,
respect.
Yeah, my God,
yeah,
dude,
so-
so jealous. So
no,
jealous.
it was super cool. You guys can check those out on Screen Rant to find the interviews.
Yes.
And
And shout out to the homie. He did a great job when he was interviewing that random actress. Like he literally brought like books that she had like looked
Listen.
into like researching everything like that. So shout out to
you
you,
saying you
killing
don't
it.
like
You did a
Lois
great
Lane?
job.
Amy Adams
That
was
wasn't Lois Lane.
Amy Adams was
That was
delightful.
not Lois Lane.
Amy Adams, the lead of the Muppets movie, is the delightful
Oh,
person.
oh yeah! I forgot Amy
Live
Adams
Happy
lead the
Enchanted.
Muppets movie.
Enchanted. That's who you're.
Yeah,
That's who I'm
yeah,
talking. I don't know who you're
exactly,
talking about.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Oh,
Anyway.
it works like this.
Yeah.
Woo! Okay.
Anywho, thank you guys.
Thank
That was
you guys
great
for joining
Yeah,
us.
and
I was proud of our Henshin, bro.
no,
Yes.
thank you. But we are not here to talk about that little thing I did.
Oh,
We are.
wait. But Jezzer, how'd your week go?
Oh, my week's interesting.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little in the next show. No. Let's do
Story time!
It's
So,
interesting. It's
this has been an awesome year. As you guys know, I'm on winter break. I just finished school
Oh, you
yesterday.
was-
I
you-
am so relaxed right now.
What did you do for your first day of winter break?
Oh, well, literally the first night. If you follow me on Instagram at JohnnyP313, you saw when he got me some celebratory ramen. Had a nice ramen dinner, hung out. Then after that, I went and saw a little movie by the name of Bumblebee.
Ooh, we'll
So
talk
here's
about
the thing.
that.
Later. So later on, we're going to have a nice little movie show. Come by, check that out later with the three of us, plus Joe, 4 J's. What are you going to do with that? And we'll be breaking down Bumblebee, Aquaman, and some of our other movie opinions and whatnot. But funny story. So here's the thing. So Friday, I want to go see Bumblebee.
Yep.
Thursday, I want to go see Aquaman with Jezzer, who I kid you not, bought the tickets, organized the whole thing. I'm sitting there in the theater. Jezzer, well, how long did it take you to get to Aquaman?
Look, I had no idea. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
All right, so
Movie starts at 7. Jezzer, where were you?
Movie starts at 5. I didn't get there till like almost 5:30. I
Yes.
thought I was under the impression like the movie theaters where I live, where it's like 15, 20 minutes of freaking previews. But no, how long were the previews? Like 5 minutes? Did they even have previews, Johnny?
Yeah, they have previews and everything.
Like how-
But it's ArcLight. ArcLight only has like 3 previews. They keep them very short, so they go straight to the film. I was literally sitting in the lobby, like just had started at 5, at like 5:05, like, Jezzer, where are you? And all of a sudden the ticket disappears. He's like, go without me.
It took a while. It took a while.
It took a while. He literally missed the first like third of the
I
movie.
guess I missed a whole lot of the movie, and I'm not gonna go watch that whole movie again just for that part. But yeah.
But wait, this is interesting. What's going on in the chat right now? See, Johnny, hope you know how you have to have yacht wings. And Layla, Jezzer has a girlfriend?
No, I don't. Joe
and
had
then,
said something.
And then Blackwing says, hold up, Cookie Face has a GF?
No.
What's going on? What's that talking about?
No, I don't.
What's going on?
I don't have a girlfriend.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Joe had mentioned something on the last show, and no. No, that's not a thing.
When y'all ready, just let me know.
Gotcha.
Yeah, let's jump in. Let's
jump in. So catch it all. Yeah, he did have a date to the movies. I ain't gonna say nothing. I got to meet the person he was with, and yeah.
Shut
I
up,
won't say
John.
anything else. I won't say anything else. But
John.
turn it to the next show, and me and Joe will both have some things to say.
God.
All right, but moving on. Let's do it. Henshin.
All
What do
right.
you guys want to start on first? You want to start with Zi-o or you want to start with Lupin?
Start with Zi-o.
Zi-o?
Yeah, start with Zi-o.
Yeah.
The belts are here. Might as well.
Yeah.
Start with Zi-o.
Wow, decade. What did you guys think of the episode? What were some of your highlights from this episode? Oh man, that is loud.
They're so loud. It's still going. That is sick.
How do you turn this off? Okay.
Mine's is done. Yeah.
Ah, dang! I pressed it again. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
Okay. Okay.
Endless
Okay,
loop.
okay, okay.
Endless
All right.
loop.
What are some of the highlights you guys enjoyed?
Well, look.
Hold on.
Give it a minute.
Yeah.
My personal highlight that I enjoyed,
Please,
it was
go.
in the first 5 seconds, was when Gates tried to assassinate Sugo with
A loaf of bread?
Yep.
A loaf
I
of
thought it was
bread.
cool. It was sharp. God, what the frick is going on here?
Oh my God! It's still going.
Okay, cool. All right. Oh my God.
It
Anyway,
started
so
over.
how about you, Johnny?
It started over. Okay, one of my favorite episodes was honestly oh my God!
Give it. Hold on. Okay, continue.
What's that? Okay.
Continue.
Wow, this show is as annoying as so.
Sick burn. So you're saying
All the belts don't usually do that, right? Okay.
So
Keep going.
All right. So before I go into some annoying moments, because I do want to talk about how annoying Sugo was this episode, I really enjoyed the fact they went to the future and we saw future Sugo.
Yeah.
Like that battle was the definition of a squash match. It was so epic. The way future Sugo just put the hurt on him, established how dominant he is, and then also it was kind of cool too though, because we always hear about how he's like the emperor in the future and all these things. He's like the overlord, but it was dope to see how he did that with those giant robots that pretty much murder half that population. I was like, oh wow, okay, this he really did become a super overlord, so that was dope.
I think it's good now that we're at the point, even though it's 15 episodes in,
15 episodes.
that
15 episodes.
Sogo is finally figuring out that, I'm a bad person?
Oh my gosh!
Wow!
No, I mean, they've only been telling him, you're gonna be evil, you're gonna be evil, you're gonna be evil.
For 15 episodes.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I will be a good overlord. It was like, so it's less like saying no, I'll be a good serial killer.
See, no.
Actually, no, that does work. Dexter did a
does.
good job. Yeah, I'll take that back now. Yeah.
Touche, man.
Yeah, true,
I got nothing on that.
There was a cool thing, or not a revelation, but it totally makes sense right now on how to stop him from doing that. Just get rid of the damn belt.
Gates said that.
Yeah.
I want to go to what
Yeah.
Blackwing just brought up right now. Justin, didn't you say that his uncle was almost Zi-o? I just said that I'm theorizing that the uncle is a bad guy. I didn't say he was. He could be, but I just said, and I got one more episode to see how wrong I am.
I'm gonna say, I said this.
By the way, I'm buying specialty hot sauce, and we're going to put it on the wings this time just to make sure they're spicy enough.
Oh my goodness!
I said this before. The uncle is not is he only evil, but he is Sugo.
Yeah, he's throwing that.
Yeah.
You're throwing that on there. Now, keeping in mind too. Let's jump back to that
that
picture
theory
you
a
just
lot. I like
that you
that
just
theory a lot.
showed. There's we're at this interesting point right now where Waz is kind of doing his thing, and he's just it's interesting that he's decided I'm on this side of I'm this side of the argument. I'm with the time jackers right now, while Tsukasa, I know you two are just getting to know him.
Oh, but he's amazing.
He's
so cool.
Decade?
Decade is so cool.
Decade.
I love Decade.
Decade's the man.
I am surprised how much I'm liking him in this show.
Yeah.
And he's used really, 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 really well. Oh, I wasn't here for this episode for the introduction of this suit.
I don't like it.
Let me just say, what the hell? What the actual? That's one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my life. How did you?
I thought weed wasn't legal in Japan.
This went through drawings and sculptures and went, yeah, that's good.
That's good enough.
That's good.
It's almost as lazy as the whole robot head switching thing, I think.
It is, and it's worse because it's a flat screen. What the,
I was wondering what that noise was. It's Johnny.
What the legitimate hell is this? Like,
Johnny's got something.
I am like shocked at the existence of this ugly suit. I didn't get a chance to be here for that, so I really wanted to.
Picking up on that noise.
You're right there. Do you need a minute?
You okay? What's wrong?
I'm kind of embarrassed to say this,
but he likes it.
I'm hoping this is a safe space.
Okay.
Where all appreciations and Henshin levels will be accepted.
Move.
Okay.
Let me see his face. Let me see his face.
Go ahead.
I kind of like the suit.
Okay.
I kind of like the suit.
I
don't know why. It kind of appeals to me.
Who are you?
I don't know why. The whole card thing, the square. I'm like, it looks so cheesy that it works for me.
Hey.
It's like it's so bad that it works. I'm sorry, but it just works.
I'm all for cheesy. You know I'm all for cheesy.
And here's the thing. I totally get where you guys are coming from. I'm just like, it kind of works.
Yeah.
And then when you see it played on Decade suit, it's like, oh, you also look kind of like other writer. I'm like, it kind of works for me. And then he will use the other writer's powers in the Decade form. The face, no, okay, just me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes, it is a safe place. You're entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to mine not liking this.
Johnny's opinions do not reflect the show.
When did this happen? When did I fall so low? I like one suit. Why?
No, man. It's good.
Why?
It's cool.
Champion agrees with me.
That's fine. Listen, if you like
me and you, champion, we're winners.
Okay.
I don't hate the player. I just hate the suit.
Respect. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, it's a crap suit.
Oh my god.
We're moving on from the suit.
Hold on. Okay, so other
Decade
things.
is great.
Yeah, Decade is amazing. Like, honestly, going back to things that we liked, dude. Here's the thing, like, one, Decade is dope in the suit. Like, I'm loving this fight scenes. I'm loving the battles that happen. But I just have to give the actor credit. He does all these, like, nuances, again, that just add so much to his character. I love his obsession with the camera and taking pictures. I love the moment he, like, sat in the chair. He kind of kicks his leg up just an extra bit to be a little bit more, like, extra with it and, like, chew the scenery.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. Him coming to the show is, like, the existence of a veteran actor, like, really showing, like, the new cast how to do things. It's
like,
so cool.
So this is how a real actor acts. Gates, your little broodiness is kind of not working. I'll show you how to be really broody, but still come off as a good actor.
Exactly.
No, so constantly, it's interesting because, like, I actually started rewatching some old episodes of Decade. I'm not the biggest fan of the show. I think the show's a bit of a mess. I like him in that show, though. And it's cool to watch him now. Like, it's cool that it's like, hey, you want to come back for the other anniversary show? 10 years after the other one you just did. And I know he's also currently popular for being one of the leads in Garo right now. So
cool.
But, like, it's cool that he's back, and, like, it's also cool, like, I can hear his voice is older. Like, you watch the old show, it's like, he's probably in his early 20s, now he's probably in his early 30s. So he's just sounds older and more, like, ready for action, and the use of him is so cool, because he's in the show where it's like, I care about none of y'all.
But it's weird though, because I totally agree with you. It's sorry, Jezzer. It's like he doesn't care about them, but at the same time, though, he was like, there's that moment when he's fighting the day. He's like, "What is your purpose?" He's like, "I don't know." Yeah, it's like he's really figuring this out, like testing them, and I low key kind of love that.
Super true. Yeah,
it's super dope because at the same time he's holding them back, but he's still helpful and he's pushing them to be better.
Yeah,
which is awesome because right now the team is sorely lacking right now.
Yeah, on screen and off screen, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
On screen and off screen,
because like Sugo, like we talked about before, Sugo is just kind of like there, and his whole thing is like when Gates is like, "Look, you're going to be an overlord. Just throw away the belt." He's like, "No, I've set my mind on being a good overlord." And it was like, "Wait, that's your whole motivation?"
Yeah.
It was like I could have seen if he was like, something happened to me, and I know I need to be a good leader, help change the world.
I need to find that exact point in the timeline where things have changed.
Exactly, or I want to help people, and I feel if I don't do this, I feel someone else will do it. Something else is a little bit better motivating. And so again, Sugo's he's just dropping the ball. He's just kind of like a lackluster as a character. And Gates, as much as I like this actor and I want him to do well, he is written so Yamcha-like. Like today, he got another beat down, and then it was crazy when he walks out and we see Waz and we see Decade standing there, being all cool and confident, and then Gabe's like, "Well, I'm going to go do something," and it's just like he was tempering off like a child. I'm just like, it just shows kind of the flaws in like his character right now.
Side note, when you first brought up the Yamcha thing, like I was at the time I was actually like staying over at my brother's place for the weekend. And like I was like, my nephew went up to me like, oh, "Hey, you want to see my toy?" Sure. And it was freaking Yamcha action figure. And I forgot to take a photo of Yamcha getting like owned by any other toy my nephew had. I forgot to take that photo. I forgot to send it to you.
He's pretty smart.
It was like the running theme, like Optimus Prime beats up Yamcha.
It's like, oh look,
it was like Megatron beats up
oh
Yamcha.
look, it's Killmonger. Oh look, it's anyone from Star Wars.
It's Strawberry Shortcake beating up Yamcha.
I forgot to do it. I had to apologize. I looked at it. I have to take that photo.
Next time.
We need a Yamcha figure and a Gates figure, I think.
Oh yeah, we do. But I mean, it's pretty much the same figure. So
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Other things that happened in this episode.
He went to the future.
Yes.
And he comes face to face. Technically, we don't get to see his face.
Yeah.
So there's still a little mystery to it.
which is cool.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's like it's still kind of leaving up the air. It's like he's saying that he is Sugo, he's even talking about his, well, even saying Sugo. He's not even saying that he's Sugo. He is saying that you're definitely the youth version of me. You're definitely, though I had these dreams, and I'm assuming so did you. So he's playing up that card, yet we still don't see him. And I'm still sitting there going like, I mean, like, is he?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The fact that we didn't see, go ahead, Jezzer.
No, go for it. You're on your train of thought.
I was just saying, but the thing was, the fact that we didn't see his face really confirmed to me there that something kind of happens, and like either someone takes on Sugo's identity and claims to be him, or like steals the powers from him. It kind of goes on this path, but it just gives me the inclination that there's some mystery here, and Sugo again may not be the Overlord Zi-o in the future.
Yes. And we got the connection to. Remember in the beginning of the series, Sugo was already talking about wanting to be a king. We figure out why, because they John Connored him. He kind of they came in there early into his supposedly a dream, and he had spoke to him already.
How do you feel about that?
I am so tired of dreams motivating heroes.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, like, hey, remember in Megaforce where it's like, what's his face, that I got a dream about some fight in the future thing?
If you take that out, the story would still be exactly the same.
Really
I know.
Though. That was the problem with Megaforce,
Yeah, no, dreams are kind of like this shortcut that I kind of sometimes feel like it's just lazy build up to like trying to create a motivation, and it's like it's an overused like cliche that I just get kind of tired of. And
no, you're totally right. I totally agree with you, because the thing about it is that when I first started watching the series, back when I was a wee whippersnapper and I thought it was going to be good.
Oh, you little wee whippersnapper.
I kept comparing it to a shonen, because he was like, I want to be king. And I thought they would develop that and we'd find out like clear motivation why he wants to be king. Because the cool thing about it is that with shonen heroes, when you find out their goals, it becomes that motivating factor that pushes them in all their decisions. And it makes you connect more with that character. Like Naruto. Naruto wants to be Hokage because for the longest time, people in the village ignored him and kind of like, shunned him and did all these things to him. So he wants to be a Hokage so people will acknowledge him. Or you look at like Goku. Goku wants to be the strongest because he loves fighting. It's what his grandfather taught him. So it's kind of like his way of connecting with his grandfather, and it's his goal to be like the strongest fighter. So it's again what like pushes him so much. But the thing about it is though is that like here, Sugo's goal is because of a dream. It just kind of takes away from his character. It's like, do you have any true motivation of your own?
No, exactly. No, I 100% agree with that. And it doesn't feel like it's enough for me.
No, I totally agree.
Yes. Gates' other kind of thing where he's saying in this episode, it's like, I'm a soldier and I've been too soft on him. That's why I haven't killed him. And I'm sitting there going,
that's why. It's not that you kept getting your butt whooped.
Thank you.
That's not what softened you. You got soft because you got your butt whooped.
Exactly.
And your confidence is just totally shot.
It just doesn't make it just like that. Just that whole I'm soft him and went it doesn't come off like that. It's like what you said. It's like it looks like you just got owned a lot.
Yeah.
And like,
and see, honestly,
you took a step back. So I can't handle this guy, man. I'm gonna play it off like I'm soft.
And see, here's the thing. I actually would have loved if he had owned up to that. Before I go to my point, we got a super chat.
Yeah! What we got?
Anthony Davis, 2 eyebrows, says, I think the guy in the dream is Oma Zi-o.
That makes sense.
That's a good thing.
I think that's what they. That's pretty
that
much what
makes
they said.
sense. I can see that.
Yeah, I was thinking it could either be Oma Zi-o or it could maybe be like a future Sugo or something like that. Yeah. Somebody who's on the side of good for this.
Yeah.
Motivate him to go down this path possibly.
So what I want from the show is like. There's a bunch of like time traveling shows. There's a bunch of time traveling shows. I feel like they should go with the Terminator route with this one, like with the John Connor, Kyle Reese, the whole thing. I think that's what they should do.
No, I totally agree with you.
I wish they kind of because it seemed like it started off a little bit of that with Gates coming in and like the Terminator chasing down Sugo, and then then he didn't want to dedicate that.
Yes,
and then it just kind of did its own thing, and then he got Yamcha for 13 episodes.
Exactly. And see, the problem with it is though is that because I went back when I was going to my rant like 2 weeks ago about that, and I was like, they should follow like the Terminator Back to the Future storyline. The cool thing about it is though, they have all these great like time travel things that have kind of like laid the groundwork, but the thing about it is that they're not really following any of it. And what's crazy is like, and other things they're doing it right now, like on the Superhero News Network. I'll be talking about this later on, but right now they did this awesome run of Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, where they literally just did Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Where Peter Parker went back in time, the current day, interacted with his younger self back when he was first starting on the ropes.
You guys, over at Kamen Rider Zi-o, pick a time travel story that you guys think this could relate to, and just run with that, because you guys obviously don't know how time travel works.
There's
so many time travel.
There's so many.
Figure out your rules, set your rules, stay with those rules, and
stop. Don't have so many episodes in the present time. If you guys are gonna like cash in on this time travel thing, just go for it.
Exactly. Go to other time periods.
And it's weird because the show will once in a while teeter on that, like the episode with Wizard and that guy calling himself from the past in the future. Like, that's like, hey, once in a while, it's almost as if like once in a while the show will like have someone go, oh, right, that's a time travel thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. And then the next 3 episodes completely forget how it works.
Exactly.
They don't understand.
Yeah.
And what they kind of don't understand the rules of like time travel writing as well. Because the thing about it is that the cool thing is about when you establish the rules, then you get to break them, and that's when cool moments happen.
Yeah.
But you have to establish the rules first and establish the precedent, then later on you can break them. But right now you're breaking them since episode like 3, and it's like, well, nothing matters anymore.
Also, it has been officially 12 episodes since Sugo rode a bike.
12.
Kamen Rider, the Kamen Rider, has not ridden a bike in 12 episodes.
I don't know, man.
12.
I don't know what to tell you.
That's right, Gates. You rode a bike recently. Let him borrow yours.
I thought I brought a bike here with me. I don't know what happened.
Stop moping around and grab your bike.
Well, he did have it in Gaim, in the Gaim.
That's what I mean. Like,
That's
at least he rode one recently.
Yeah.
Sugo, the main Kamen Rider, has not ridden a bike in 12 episodes.
But you know what just happened though?
What's that?
We got it!
The blur. It says, "What if the guy in the dream is a time jacker?"
I mean, sure.
Yeah, that could be.
I could see that.
That could be a possibility.
That could be a possibility. I will say this though, going to time jacker knowledge, I'm starting to get the feeling now that they're doing this. I'm starting to get the feeling now that like, so we got Gates and Suka. What's her name?
Which one? Tsukiyomi?
Tsukiyomi, yeah. So we got Gates and Tsukiyomi who are working together, and they're trying to like restore the future, like save everything. But I kind of feel like the time jackers are low-key trying to do the same thing, but they're just like a terrorist.
Hey!
I'm kind of losing track of like everybody's motivation.
Yeah.
No, like, well, Hora Schwartz has not been. I was praising them for a really long time. I'm still into them. I kind of wish they should be moving along a little bit more. And again, like that's right. Sugo's uncle, right there, devil ears, devil horns. I got one episode to see how wrong I am.
One more,
and I swear to God, if he's the bad guy in episode 17, that'd be super unfair. But it's the fairness.
The
fairness.
I have a question. As far as casting, for these characters, would Gates be a little bit more of a interesting character if he was casted differently, like more of a physical imposing actor, like a bigger guy?
Yeah, a bigger guy, maybe a slightly older looking guy, maybe like a facial hair. I don't know, that might help.
I might even just say someone who has a bigger presence, because like Banjo was just slightly taller, but he wasn't like the biggest guy.
Yeah.
He had a bigger presence though. He carried himself in a bigger way.
You're right.
Gaze doesn't really do that.
Just imagine like a bigger, like buffer dude that's like even with his same mannerisms, like
Jezzer.
What?
Are you trying to go and be recast as Gates?
No,
Is that what you're trying to do, Jezzer?
I'm not that tall.
Is that what you're Jezzer?
No, but yeah.
I see you can do that to me. Like, right? Let's get a baguette over here.
I could just imagine him like Sugo kind of like trying to warm the gentle giant kind of role. You're like, oh, you hate me right now, but let me win you over.
Like a Norman from Mighty Max type deal.
Right.
Yeah. It would actually work out better because then he would actually be a threat to him, because right now Gates keeps threatening him, but it's like, dude, you keep losing to everybody.
Yeah. It's because they feel like more like peers.
Read that Blackwing's recent thing.
Decade is definitely the Vegeta of the for Sugo, and I love that.
Oh, that's true. Super good point.
That's true. No, I totally agree. Good job.
For some reason, I thought Decade. I thought it said Gates. I was like, what are you talking about now?
And I see that Yuki Senpai. If Decade had taught me one thing, is that all old people are connected, and they are likely has an evil alter ego. I know you know what I'm talking about, dude. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Well, we saw that in Build.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Evil Dad. Super
And Just the Warrior High Alpha says, will Zuden Sentai Q Ranger Brave, aka Power Rangers Dino Force Brave, become adapted one day in the U.S. for the franchise? I mean, come from Korea.
That is not. Well, I mean, that's a weird one to do because that would require them to
2 seasons.
Two seasons back, that would require them to use the Dino Charge kids if they want to use the Dino Charge kids, and if they don't.
This is how I imagine it. This is how I imagine it happening. Maybe another either anniversary episode or team up episode where they just have newer suits.
Yeah.
That's the only way.
Did you guys hear about that news that broke this week?
About
how they're about to do a mini series after the Sentai finishes?
Hey, that's a funny thing. You want to bring that up?
Would you want
before we get into that, why don't we go ahead and give our reviews?
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Of Zi-o.
Okay.
Out of 5 watch faces.
5 watches.
Here's the thing. I like the fact he went to the future. I'm loving Decade right now. I'm loving the rivalry there. I love the storytelling's kind of happening. I love the stakes trying to get higher.
Gimme.
Go ahead.
Gimme.
So I'm going to give it a 3.
3 out of 5.
I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I was towards the end, I was enjoying it. I was ooh, I'm excited to see what's happening next.
I would say I would give it a 3 out of 5 as well. Well, I think Tsukasa has been really a saving grace for me on this show.
That's what we were saying.
Same thing.
Saving grace of the show, and I'm really enjoying him in the series. So yeah.
He came in at the right time.
He really did.
At the right time.
He really did, and I hope he stays.
Hope so too.
Please.
Or if he doesn't, I want a really, really good arc for him.
By the way, everyone putting your ratings in the comments below.
I will give it a 3 as well. It was decent enough for me to keep watching it, and I think. I just like I said, I feel like all the characters are I'm kind of getting lost on what their motivations are and where they stand. So I think that reestablishing that in the next few episodes would be great.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah,
and I do like the little revelation that they're like, oh, if you don't want to become Homo-Z, let's just get rid of the belt. It's just get rid of the belt.
Yeah, that could be done a long time ago. Yeah.
So let's go see what people are rating it in the chat.
The Blur,
1 out of 5. Here comes Layla's. I didn't watch it. I was busy dealing with a Nevermind out of 5.
Out of 5. Well done, Layla. Well done.
Anthony Davis, 2 arrows, 4 out of 5. Ukiya Senpai, 4 out of 5.
Needs more of that good tier Decade.
Layla comes back in. Tsukasa Hero Time, out of 5.
Give me GAC. Give me that GAC theme song. Decades theme song is great.
All right. Champion, 4.5 out of 5. Solid episode. Blackwing, 4.5. Demon Ninja, 3 out of 5. The Blur just reminds me of a teacher who catches you with the phone.
A moment ago.
What's funny because Johnny's a teacher.
Give it to me. And hashtag Heal Life gives it 2 out of 5. So everybody's it's the average, pretty close.
Yeah.
You know what? It's a pretty high point in the show. It makes sense. They're kind of starting to kick things up a little bit.
Still not a perfect episode, but decent.
Yeah. Exactly. It's funny because I was saying this last week. I was telling Jezzer because I was thinking about Lupat and how Lupat. It wasn't until around episode 16 with the introduction of Noel and all the things he started doing. I was like, oh, this show is starting to improve. And I'm guessing that just might be the trend for some shows. You got to kind of give it to 16 before they hit a stride.
That's exactly. Yeah. You're starting to figure this out. That is actually a common thing in all Rider Sentai shows. Around episode 16. Yes. Start kicking things into high gear. All right,
let's talk about that news that you.
Let's talk about.
Oh yeah, so the news about this new Sentai series is going to be coming after Lupat. They'll be running. It'll be a mini series, and it looks really cool. Break it down for me, Justin.
Basically, if you haven't heard already, it is I believe possibly a 5-episode mini series. I think it is called. Let's see if I can figure the title. It's a 4-week-long Super Sentai. I'm getting this off of Toku Network, by the way. The good folks at Toku Network who are writing this article, who wrote this article.
But don't forget, though, you can also read it on that hashtag.com.
That's right.
Where our own writer put up there, and that's why I read it today.
Yeah, nice.
Hopefully we can get a link
in
there.
I'll put the link in there.
Thank you so much. Okay, so this is basically, it's kind of if you're a Marvel fan, Contest of Champions style battle in which 5, no 5, right?
Well, it's supposed to be 5, and then potentially other Rangers show up as well.
Now, it's a pretty cool lineup, though it's very red-filled. But we got some very cool people on here. I
put the link in the chat.
Great, the link is in chat room. So before I get to them, I want to point out the creative team. It's a really good creative team.
It is.
The person who's writing it is Naruhisa Arakawa, who also wrote for Kamen Rider Kuga.
Nice.
And is the head writer of Doe Ranger, and the head writer of Go Kaiger.
Woo!
Nice.
And a Kiba Ranger, if you're a fan of a Kiba Ranger as well. Look at these are our Rangers, our main Rangers in the storyline. So we got our boy Stinger from Q Ranger. We got Captain Marvelous.
Whoa,
we missed that back. Mama-san is back. Woo! Now I'm surprised by the inclusion of Joe Eagle.
Yeah.
Because I know that show is not very popular.
I like it.
Thank you.
I don't understand why people didn't enjoy it much.
No, I got thrown off when he gets like super inflated and like. Oh.
Well, and I love that costume he wears, where it's like with with like it's almost like samurai-esque and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like I low-key like it. And the Noel mode is super dope.
This actor who plays the Red Eagle, I think, is one of my favorite Red Ranger actors.
Same.
He's
I agree.
a very good actor. They gave a lot of really cool arcs to his character.
They did.
It's a really solid. He's a really great lead, and I'm glad to see him back. Cause I'm like, oh, look, he wasn't my problem with that show. Hilariously,
I love how Stinger.
Super chat.
Oh,
woo!
Yeah, we
Who
got
would
another
each of your
super
teams
chat.
be?
Huh?
Who would each your? Let me get to that in a moment. Hilariously, though, one of my favorite Reds, Marvelous, another really good underrated Red Eagle, are here. My number one least favorite Red is also on the Sting.
Ninja.
Red Ninja from the Ninja. Yeah. I really hate him. Yeah. But as a Tokyuger fan, Kagra, the one girl, I don't know why you can't include another one, but fine. Kagra, Tokyo Pink, is in this as well, and she's great. I can't wait to see her back in this thing.
Me.
I love how
of all the pinks, I was like, really?
I'm sure it's not a case where it's like, who's available?
I love how Stinger is wearing his commander jacket.
That's true.
Yes,
he is.
That's awesome. He's like, I'm still boss. What's up?
But it's a really, 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 really interesting lineup, and basically, it's like in a tournament. Contest of Champions kind of thing, which is awesome. With possible surprises.
Yeah, and more Sentai, more Rangers popping up. Because one of the things they mentioned is that like over the course of this, like these will be like our main cast members will be falling for the storyline, but other people will be appearing, and so you never know who you might get.
Surprise!
Now, given that this is a miniseries, so going to that question for the super chat, who would you guys like to see show up?
Oh my god, it's such a weird question because I don't. You want to see Geki? Okay, that's a cool one.
I mean, he's doing his rounds. He's still a young guy.
I would like to see somebody from Shinkenger, obviously, because as you know,
I love Shinkenger.
I love Shinkenger. Anyone from Shinkenger would be great. Man, we can go old though. We're talking old. Hey, I'm not just playing to the audience, but anyone from Jew Ranger.
Oh yeah, so
would be
so much
would be great. They all look great. They still look great. If you get like May, Terra Ranger May back, that'd be a great thing to do.
After I did that with Daniel, that retro Ranger, that retro Henshin review of Zoo Ranger, the Green Ranger arc right there. Oh, so amazing.
Oh my god! Last Power Morphin gave me a kiss on the cheek. I kind of lost a little bit.
What about you, Jezzer?
Yeah.
Yeah, Geki. I said Geki.
Okay. For me, I already got Marvelous. So
Geki would be great.
Would be dope is Gokai Silver.
Sure,
again,
that'd be
my
good.
Favorite Six Ranger of all time. And then honestly, like to push the envelope a little bit. Here's the thing: I don't know how they're going to do this yet, but if they do it like a way where it's like, oh, these are people taken from like maybe different dimensions or anything like that, or different time periods. I don't want to see Jason David Frank show up.
What?
Because again, we know how popular he is.
You're like
here.
every other Power Ranger fan right now. Oh, it's Super Sentai. Let's throw a Power Ranger.
But no, because it would just, would be dope to start to build that gap. Because this thing, I want Super Sentai to get more popular over here.
But what would the Japanese people say? Like, who's this guy?
That's what I'm saying. Because if he's just some random dude, like some one-off moment or whatever, and then it goes back to them in the storyline, it would just be cool and it would make. I think honestly, it would make Power Rangers fans going to watch that episode.
Yeah.
Because it was Jason David Frank, they'll follow him anywhere,
Yeah.
and then hopefully they would get more into Henshin. Yeah. Because again, I think Sentai is amazing, and I want more people to enjoy what we get to do.
Agreed. And you'd be surprised. I think plenty of folks will know who JDF is in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. So. Someone from the '80s would be great too. I'm just such a nerd at I just nerd at this stuff. I like anybody.
So that is interesting. I can't wait to see it. I hope that we're able to watch it.
I'm not really sure if it's 100% like it's going to be a fill-in thing until we get Rio Soldier, or if it's going to play alongside Rio Soldier. I know it's going to be playing after Lupat. When Lupat's done, we will get these episodes. I'm not sure if it's a fill-in show.
We're gonna get some people from Loop out on there for sure.
Well,
Sure.
Yeah,
Oh
we
no,
have to.
Yeah,
they
we
just
have to, yeah.
they're on their way out.
It's definitely,
Yeah.
definitely going to be Kyrie. It's going to be Kyrie.
Well, most
I want
likely
Kichiro.
Kyrie.
I want Kichiro.
I would love
Yeah.
Kichiro.
Yeah.
It's also
It's going to be Kicho as the Master Lupin.
I also got a feeling this
But we
is.
just we're going to get to that in a moment. Okay, all right.
I also got a feeling that this is also one of those cases where we've talked about that Sentai's not doing that great. That I almost do feel like this is them going to try to make something that's like commercially exciting.
Hey,
Yeah.
remember we made these great shows?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like it's
No,
not even.
that-
Go ahead.
I was gonna, no, I totally agree because I've been noticing over the past years because it's like once I watch Go Kiger, I noticed they
What?
bring Go Kiger back a lot.
Yeah.
Because people love it. But before we go on to more of that, we got another super chat.
Derek Kirby says, a weird change for Ogre airing in March rather than February. Last time Super Sentai series aired in March was Car Ranger in 1996.
So that actually confirms it.
yeah.
This is the show.
Thank you for the history. Thank you.
Thank you. I actually didn't know
Thank you,
that.
Derek. Yeah.
This is going to be a gap show.
You know what I
This is
think?
going to fill in the
it's
gap
a
in February,
filler.
which means we're going to cover it.
Well, we are going to cover, but I think this means something else as well.
What's that?
Okay, because here's the thing, though. So we got to remember, like, as people who are fans of like American sitcoms and whatnot, there's this thing we call the backdoor pilot. And so the thing about it is, though, if we know Super Sentai isn't doing that well, but we have all these actors who are always willing to come back, because unlike Kamen Rider, you have 5 from each series, and I'm pretty sure, like in Japan, they're keeping track of what's happening over here.
Sure.
They heard about the success of Shattered Grid and all these type of different things. They might be like do this as a little test thing, and like, what if we just come back and do a mixture of Super Sentai teams
do
sometime?
you think one of the new Rangers is going to be in the show?
One of the new Rangers?
Yeah, maybe the new Red Ranger.
Maybe a cameo towards the end because they always like to do those like quick cameos and everything. But I wouldn't be surprised if like after like this season, going to like next season, if we did see like a Ranger team that's a mixture of ones from different generations.
Go for it.
That makes interesting sense. That would be, and put that in your back pocket. That might be something you might consider doing. I think that may not be a bad call. Though Blackwing on the chat actually brought up a very good point. I just realized we're getting this miniseries to transition into the next period of the Emperor of Japan.
Oh, really?
Yes.
There's going to be a correlation between like that and
It's
Super
possible.
Sentai series?
That's the reason why that's the reason why Zi-o is celebrating the Heisei era. It's the end of that Emperor of Japan. So that's why we're doing it.
okay.
Which also maybe Zi-o might end earlier.
Ooh,
We don't.
But Blackwing just also said another thing because I had just realized he says, "I'm serious about this. If Go-Kart doesn't get a 10-year after, me, Layla, Johnny, Justin are going to fly that toy and start flipping tables."
I'll bring tables to flip.
Exactly.
You know, there's an actual like Japanese arcade game where you flip a table.
Really?
Legit game.
In place of Nakahara, who would you have instead of his place? Shinken Red or Kuro Red? Oh, okay. So as much as I love Shinkenger, and you all know I do, let me look at in terms of team dynamics. What would I think to be an interesting fill-in? And I would say Kuro would be an interesting guy in this group.
Yes.
Because you have the straightforward Yamata, who's like the normal person. Then you have. Go ahead.
Well, I want to hear what you have to say.
All right.
But we got another super chat!
Okay.
The Blur says, your thoughts are the Go-Kaigers the strongest team?
Probably.
Finish your thought, then we'll go into that.
All right. No, it's like if you look at like team dynamics, Yamato could be the straightforward normal one. Marvelous can be the show off. Stinger could be the broody one.
Oh man.
Oh, you got the whole dynamic of the team down.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, so if I'm switching off Aka Ninja, then I will then give them Daigo Kuro Red because he's the really big, flamboyant, fun one.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that's why I will include him in there.
But see, at the same time, I love what you're doing. This is personal bias at this point,
Sure,
but
sure.
I would love Marvelous to be like the show off one, who's also like kind of like the real leader that they don't realize. Because that was the thing about Marvelous. He was like, let's make this showy, but he was also such a true leader of that team. Like one of my favorite moments from Go-Kai, and we're going to do we think Go-Kai's the strongest team, is when him and Noel, not him and Noel, but him and Go-Kai Silver fused together. And then Guy, and there's a whole moment where he's like, Guy, go and fight on your own. But then right when it looks like Guy's about to lose, Marvelous just steps in like a boss. And it was like, no, I'm your captain. I always got your back. And so,
okay, go ahead.
But so going to our other question, do you guys think Go-Kai is the strongest team?
Yes.
Probably.
The power of 25 years of Super Sentai.
And plus
Oh,
more.
yeah. Exactly. 25
Also,
years.
UK Senpai Zi-o summer movie was confirmed. Yeah, you're right. That's true. I actually forgot about that. So we're probably gonna keep. Sorry, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going.
I will say, I think Go-Kaigers are the strongest team just for two reasons. One, as you said, they have the 35 years of like Sentai to go through. Plus, every time a new team shows up, they get their powers too.
Yep.
And then two, dude, they're just they're just some G's.
Yeah.
Like that final battle, it was never one of those moments like we lost our powers. Like, no, son. We just step up more.
Yep.
And so it's like no matter what steps in front of us, we just step up more.
That
and then
whole
the
lineup
series,
of all the Zords.
exactly. They had all again. They had all their powers intact. They still had their Zords and everything like that. So it's like if I'm ever kidnapped and I need you guys to send a Sentai team after me, send Go Kiger.
All right. Now on to Lupat.
Wait. Question though. So wait. So Go Kiger was the 35th anniversary, right?
Yes.
All right. And then right now for Zi-o is the 35th anniversary of Kamen Rider, right?
20th anniversary for Heisei Ride.
Oh, 20th anniversary.
Right.
So in 10 years, we're going to get their what?
30th anniversary?
30th anniversary. Oh, you know, it's funny you bring that up. Something else is celebrating the 30th anniversary this year.
God.
The Jordan 3. It's time for Johnny Doe Kicks.
Did he do this last week?
So, I got a special surprise for you
He didn't
guys.
do this last week?
As I said,
He did this
this
last
year
week?
is the celebration of 30th anniversary of the Jordan
he did the
3.
Spider-Man
Shazam!
What the-
And here's my shoe, the Jordan 3 Powder Blue. Now, a little bit of history about the Jordan 3. The Jordan 3 amazing shoe was designed by Tinker Hatfield, one of the best designers at Jordan Brand. And the cool thing about it is, though, this was the shoe that made Michael Jordan stay with Nike for all those years to come. It's a really comfortable shoe. It inspires skate design. And the thing about it is, though, it's a really affordable shoe to get. So this year is the 30th anniversary. Thank you, Tinker Hatfield, from your boy, Johnny Doe Kicks.
Okay, can we
you
get back
done?
to the show?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, let's go on. Let's go on to Lupat. What did you guys think of this episode?
Some stuff happened with Noel.
Oh, you're doing that type of thing. I had to clap.
Yeah. Stuff happened with Noel.
Yeah.
Stuff happened with Noel.
A lot of stuff happened with Noel. And we got a lot of character development with Noel. And with the
Yeah.
other characters, okay, I got to be real. Go ahead. And then,
Go ahead. No, I think
you
got
go
to-
first.
Yeah,
Okay.
go. Yeah, go now. Go.
So I gotta be honest here. Like, here's the thing. When it came down to it, this was one of the most emotional episodes. And before you get into the character things, the one thing that stuck out to me is props to the music. The music of this episode was epic. Like, I literally was like hearing like the trumpets playing and like the classical music and whatnot. I literally not heard a soundtrack like this, and this will be like a weird reference point since like the last time I watched Battle Royale. Like, I got odes of that and with the emotion and everything like that.
Ooh,
Same. So yeah, so I was like, so again, that just kind of blew me away. Like again, the soundtrack for this episode, the musical choices are on par. What'd you guys think?
First off, great point. Great music in this episode. While I think this should have happened, this is the thing we keep saying about Lupat.
Happened 20
20,
episodes.
we say this every time on the show. But this is cool. I wish you did this X amount of episodes. I say that again with Noel. Great. I wish you told me this 20 episodes ago.
Yeah, true.
But it's good. I'll give him
so
credit
good. So
that
good.
it's good. What did we learn about Noel in this episode?
Noel is not human.
Yeah, but he's not-
Technically.
yeah,
Technically.
but it wasn't like your thought was like, oh, and Layla pointed this out was like, we're like, oh,
Yeah,
he's
last
a
week we said
collection
he was a
piece.
collection piece.
I thought, we all thought that too.
Yeah, but instead it was like, oh, he's just like from another. He's from the gangler dimension, and there's a form of humans that like are there.
Right.
Yeah.
And he is basically like, to put it simply,
He's
like,
kind of like Robin.
thank you. I was
He is
just gonna say
Robin.
that.
He is Robin. He is Dick Grayson Robin. And,
Yep.
And the Grand Lupin is his Batman.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And what was crazy is like again, I love this episode because it got a lot of answers. Because remember a while back when I was like, why do the ganglers have safes? Like it was just always weird to me. It's like, so what if they don't have collection? Well, why do they do that?
Yes.
But then they gave the whole origin where the collection pieces come from their dimension and all these different things. It's like, oh, now it all makes sense.
Yeah.
And then everything's like coming
Everything's
together.
coming into place.
Exactly. But as you said, these are things that we wish would have happened 10 to 20 episodes
So
ago.
now, remember at the beginning of the series when we first started it, we all had our like reservations on the Butler guy.
Yeah.
Now has that subsided a little bit? For
I
you
think
guys?
it's subsided a little bit for me right now. I don't
Because
really.
now you learn a little bit about his like how he's able to like just pop in and out. Like,
Right.
You know, he's
Yeah.
not technically human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think everything is just coming together towards the end.
This scene's great.
Yes.
I love this.
There is a look. The Potorangers had a kind of a scene like this in the last episode where they're not saying much.
Yeah.
But just the expressions on their face, you could see them like having like battles within their head. You know,
Look at
about the whole
Umaka.
situation.
Oh, so good.
Just look at Umaka.
Yeah.
Good.
She is
So
so conflicting.
That is
conflicted.
such a good choice right
Yeah.
there.
She is not pointing her gun. She doesn't know what to feel right now. She, it's like Kyrie and Toma are just like ready.
They don't, and they don't want to be raising their guns at him. They don't want to be raising it. They're just like, if someone has been lying to you or not lying to you, or like not
Holding back.
holding
Yeah.
back information, with the stakes being so high for them and not knowing everything going into it, of course you'd feel a little betrayed.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they kind of hate him a little, not hate him, but just like feel betrayed that he didn't feel like they could know the actual truth, the whole
time.
mythos of like what's actually going on.
And it makes sense too, though, because they kind of like what I like about this episode is that they kind of hint at these things, but they don't overly tell you directly. Because one of the first things they're writing, and just so you know this, is like show don't tell.
Right.
And so one thing is that people are looking like, wait, why do they feel so betrayed? But they kind of hinted that in the dialogue when he's like, I'm trying to get somebody special to me back, and they're like, that's what we should be saying.
Right.
And that's the reason why they're so betrayed, because we've shared almost everything we have with you. We've never shared this with us. It feels like such a strong betrayal.
They don't share a lot with each other, right? That's the thing about them.
Yeah, we had an episode with Toma and Umika where like right now it's getting to a point where they're kind of realizing or kind of getting to know each other.
Right. They don't know about Kyrie's thing with his background, with his basketball thing. So, but the one thing you're right, the one thing they 100% do share with each other is why they're doing this.
Exactly.
And who they're fighting, who they're getting back.
Exactly. Who they're fighting for.
And the fact that Noel hasn't said that yet is them going, that's our big trust.
Yeah.
And
so
honestly,
who are you doing this for?
That is also like the focal point for Kiichiro, like why he didn't give up on him so easily.
Yeah.
Why he didn't believe that Noel could turn on them and be the actual spy, because they even go back to the actual like face off that they had with each other where he had mentioned we're gonna get back our loved ones.
Good.
It puts everything it finishes everything up as far as what their motivations are, because he was the only one. Everybody else, all their like everything that's driving them is there, except for Noel.
Yeah.
And that's what made him like honestly. Like his personality at the beginning when we first met him made sense now. He was pushing people away because of like his history, because he didn't really want to connect with people, just in case he loses them, just like the Lupin,
right?
Grandmaster Lupin.
And what was dope as well is I totally agree with you. What was dope as well is that this episode was so balanced, because I've been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
But before I talk about how balanced this episode is, we got a super chat.
We got the Blur. He says Noel should quit GSPD now. He is more Lupin Ranger.
Well, you know what? After this episode, I can't see that.
Actually, yeah, because after this episode, because like, so I'm gonna address what you just said, Blur. Because after this episode, so after this, they're kind of on the same boat.
Yeah.
Because one thing that like stuck out to me was the fact that this episode was so balanced. And that's what we've been saying for a while. It's like it's okay to get a focused episode here, but this is one of the episodes that was like truly balanced with the Lupins and with the cops.
Yes.
Right.
And you saw them mostly coming from both.
Exactly,
of them.
from both. Like, what's Green's name? He was so conflicted.
Oh, at the beginning, he was that speech and everything like that.
Both of them, like
Sakria.
Yeah, they just like no, I don't want to believe this. I don't want to believe
Yeah.
this. He's our friend.
And then Patoranger Pink is like, but it could be true.
Yeah.
We have to accept the fact that it could be true. And Kichiro's not even there.
Right.
He's in the car with the other guy, and they're like, they've got this intense scene where they're talking in a car. Like literally, I never expected from a Sentai Power Ranger series for an intense scene to happen in a car.
While it's raining.
Exactly.
Even last episode, just the raining on it's like them crying.
Yeah.
Like feeling betrayed.
Which is funny because if you're, for this is another little Sentai history for you guys, that little area they're doing that is kind of like almost seminal, like Sentai Crying Hill. If you watch a bunch of Sentai shows, that hill is called Maury Hill, and so many intense, dramatic moments in Sentai happen on that hill.
The one they're in right there?
Yeah. Oh. That is something that has happened a lot in these shows, and that is like this is another like big dramatic moment that happened on Omori Hill.
And the crazy thing about this is though that now that we know this, every
Why
time we see that hill,
why do I know that? It's so weird.
Man, something bad about it. We're about to be tearing up.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
bring the hill. They got time to cry.
Kiichiro is the one that finally realizes what's going on, and we figure out that the guy, their former teammate, is actually not.
Yeah, he's a gangler.
He's a gangler.
But this drop of information is one of the biggest. Oh, damn! I was not ready for that. When he points out the fact that, like, okay, yes, we all kind of suspected, good amount of suspect. Well, that's not him.
Yeah, that's a gangler.
I was like, oh, because he's putting the headphones in, maybe he's being brainwashed.
Right.
Maybe this is him. They're going to like help their friend out or whatever. But when they reveal it's the gangler, I'm like, okay, what happens to the friend? And then the gangler gives that piece of information, and they're like, wait, so where is our
I love
friend?
how he's listening to an audio recorder, not like any type of like.
Yeah.
MP3
Yeah.
But he's like, go ahead.
But he's like, so what happened to our friend? And he's like, I don't know. He's probably dead. And you're like,
what?
Oh.
Yeah, that's when everything.
And when you realize that, oh, wait a minute. Anytime a gangler got into a human form, they took on the persona of someone who died.
So all those times when they killed somebody.
They killed
Exactly.
somebody. And
So his amigo is someone he killed.
yeah.
Ain't that? I'm like, remember like going, oh, what the hell?
No. And then what's even crazier is, though, so here's the thing, anybody who knows, like, think about cops, you watch, like, cop shows, like, dramas, The Wire, things like that, you know one of the golden rules is, like, by criminals, is, like, you don't kill a cop. Because when you do that, the cops will come for you with everything they have and so much more.
And that was the intensity that you got at the
end
of the
Dude, and this led to one of the best fight scenes I have seen in Sentai. Like, when I was watching this, I was like, they're giving him that work. They're giving him that work. Like, my favorite scene is when he goes to the punch, the dude's like, he catches it, and the Power Ranger, he comes and kicks his shoulder in. It was like, no, follow through. And I was like, ah, why is this so gangster? He's just getting this work right now. It was so dope.
It
was so dope.
I'm totally in love with Pink, man. I love Pink.
Dude, it was so good. So good.
Oh my god.
The mixture of fighting and gunplay in this, where it's like you're throwing punches, and one point it's like, no, bam, 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 and you're shooting. It was like, oh my god, it's like this dude was just taking L's the whole time.
And it's also like just full of this like great drama that is like they're fueling. It's like it's not like this gangler technically killed their friend, but this gangler just dropped the bomb of, oh, your friend's probably dead.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't care, and they're like, we got to no, screw that.
No.
It's like, you go care today.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yes.
It's so good.
And then even the Zord battle was so good, and seeing them switch up the Zords and everything like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, it came together so well. And then honestly, my favorite moment for this was so all that happened and everything like that to defeat them. But my favorite moment for this happened later on. So while the thieves are at the restaurant like celebrating, they're talking to Noel, and they're like, and they've all kind of come together and everything like that. And like, you know, they're like, Noel, you're one of us. We accept you. Like, we're still who you're trying to get back. Your Master Lupin and blah blah. They all put their guns in, and then we cut to the cops.
Yeah.
And they're still standing there.
Yeah.
And there's like, and they just like, they're all just like in mourning because they lost their friend.
Yeah.
And it's like all of a sudden, just like, it's like, oh no, they're just like the Lupins now.
Yeah.
Now they need to get somebody back.
Well, another cool thing about this with the Lupin Rangers is not only do they accept Noel as fully part of their team, Noel and the Butler accept them as part of their team.
Yeah.
They hand over the book.
Exactly. That small moment where Kyrie's put the item in himself now. Yeah.
So it's like all the walls that have divided them are gone now.
Yeah.
They know they know everything. They know what their mission is and everything that they have to do. So everybody's working together. The only thing that's still keeping them divided is the Lupin Rangers and the Patoranger. But to be fair, I'm totally fine with them like not even revealing themselves to each other the whole series. I think it would be great. That'd be great.
It's interesting, right? Like that's something where we're at the point where I'm like, I'm not asking for that anymore.
Yeah, I don't want that anymore.
No, I like that you guys don't know this, and this is kind of like stay the course. I hope, and even if they do, we'll see how that works out. But like, yeah, it's ooh boy. It's a good episode.
So what would you guys rate this episode?
Out of 7?
Out of 7.
Johnny?
You guys start first. I think about this one.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna start it off. I'm giving it a 7. I'm giving it a 7.
Giving it
solid 7.
Why is that?
Because they just hit all the points. They finally wrapped up a lot of the storylines that they were trying to do. And just like the acting from these actors, like it's like night and day with this and Kamen Rider Zi-o. Night and day. Like I'll tell the truth. When the series first started off, I wasn't expecting that to come from them, but they are so good. I
am gonna join that 7 train.
Yes.
7 out of 7. I definitely think the reveal of what the ganglers been using with the human bodies, where they came from, like pushed that over the edge for me, where I'm sitting there like, was not ready for that, was not expecting that. That's putting in a territory that like Power Rangers will never do.
No,
I'm saying
there's no way. There's no way.
But it's definitely putting in the territory of a cop show.
Yeah.
And a sci-fi superhero cop show.
Yes.
And I love it for doing that and giving everybody some of the best stuff to work off of in this episode. So yeah, 7 out of 7.
Johnny?
Okay, so you remember last week.
Excuse me, sorry.
7. Because even the Zord battle was amazing.
It was really good, yeah.
And now this week, as you said, we get the drama. The music was amazing. The acting was amazing. The storytelling was amazing. We finally got the answers to like what are the ganglers doing, where do they come from, all these different things. We finally kind of brought people together. Noel's like kind of like out of the shadows now. It's like all these things have moved the plot and the story forward. And again, even finding out about the Grand Lupin and everything like that, and seeing the boss gangler come and kill him and everything like that, which gives Noel this like great motivation now. All amazing. My only critique is what I've been saying for weeks is that it's just all this stuff should have happened like 10 episodes earlier. If this had happened 10 episodes earlier, that's what I would say. This stops you from being a mediocre series to being one of the best Sentai series of all time. And so, but honestly though, again, this episode gave me all the feels. Despite the fact that I wish it happened 10 episodes earlier, 7 out of 7.
That's 3 sevens.
Dang. All right.
Let's go to the chat. Let's go to the chat. See what they've been saying.
Let's see. The Blur 5 out of 5. Ukiya Senpai 7 out of 7. Deka Kamen Rider Brave says I dropped Blue Pat out of 5.
All right.
The Blur 7 out of 7.
He changed his mind. Bumped to 7.
No, he just changed.
Oh, that's right. He adjusted to the proper height. Okay.
Layla 6.5 out of 7.
All right.
Anthony Davis 6 out of 7. Johnny Mero 7 out of 7.
I love the Zord battle, and I love Noel and Kichiro's character development. So good, I agree.
Heal Life 6 out of 7. And Toku 0 out of 7. Blackwing 6.5 out of 7. So we're all on the same page.
And then, did you get a DD cosplay? I didn't even get to watch it this week, but it sounded amazing out of 7.
Yes, there you go. And
Your review is this.
Out of 7 out of 7.
That emoji.
Yes. You guys,
should have come earlier,
that was a great episode. But I am going to be a little disappointed with next week because I did see the little trailer for next week's episode.
It can be fun. I think we've had a couple of heavies.
I'm okay with it.
I mean, it's going to be weird because it's a Christmas episode and it'll be after Christmas, so.
Something about there not being enough chicken or something.
Something like that, which sounds awesome fun.
Which is a huge tradition in Japan, so fair enough.
And honestly, I'm excited for it just for the fact that because like one of my favorite Gokaiger episodes was low-key the Christmas episode.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so I'm just like kind of looking forward to see how much fun they have. Because it's kind of like anime, you always have that episode where it's like, hey, we're going to the beach. And so it's like, why do you do that? It's because sometimes you just want to have fun.
Or the hot springs.
Exactly.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday. We really appreciate it. And you know what, actually...
You know what?
Where are you going?
I'm going to just say... Have a happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays. You guys have a safe Christmas, and I hope you guys spend time with your family. And thank you for joining us. You guys, where can we find you on social media? Rudolph?
At
North Pole?
At Rudo the Deer at Instagram.
What if that's an actual Instagram?
Oh gosh, it's possible. That's like super possible. Super mega possible. I'm just kidding. No, you can find me on Instagram down below. And also at Jezzer Discuss on Twitter and all my various other podcasts and etc. Y'all know to find me by now.
Johnny?
You can find me at JohnnyP313 on Instagram and Twitter. And on Gumroad, you can pick up my books. And also, my usernames on there are also Johnny Doe Kicks. Yeah. Thanks again, Jordan Brown.
You can find me on also social media at Jezzer, but you can also find all three of us and Joe later on talking about the big movies coming out that came out this year. So you guys stick around.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Bumblebee, we're going to talk about Vice, and a bunch of other cool stuff.
Yes. You guys, thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.
Bye.
Woo.